Why do people dress so poorly these days? Our Western society has more access than ever before to education, to resources, to finances, to technology, you name it. Yet, so many people choose to dress very casual and at times even sloppy. What is happening that is making us go in this direction? Why is the norm to wear hoodies, leggings, athleisure, crop tops, sweatpants, etc. in public? And we haven't even touched upon all the revealing clothing where showing more and more skin is starting to become the norm, like cycling shorts. What's up with that? And for those of you who are new to my channel, and before you think that I'm some form of sitting here criticizing what people wear, please hear me out and definitely watch until the end of the video because there are some important points that I really want to make. I just think that overall our society has gone a little bit too far in terms of dressing casual in public. The society as a whole is going in a direction that I personally think is going to be very negative and have a negative impact on us as a whole. But more about that at the end. So I came across this TikTok and actually when I saw it, I felt a bit sad. Not gonna lie. I mean, if you see, you kind of understand what I mean. I feel saddened by this evolution. And I kind of know deep down that it's in a way game over for people like me who find this dress up culture to be negative. I know that my thoughts are a minority. I know that the mainstream population, they probably are loving this casual fashion that's currently happening. If you are like me, let me know in the comments, but I do also want to hear those who do not agree with me. Get your voices heard of why you think casual style is here to stay. I know that many of you are going to have judgments about me based on this video. I know that you're not all going to understand what I'm trying to say with this video. You're going to feel defensive. You're going to feel offended, even though that's not the point. And I'm not going to lie that as a result, I actually started to censor what I say in the public space because I feel like often the message just gets twisted and taken out of context way too much to the point that I feel, you know what, there's not even a point in making certain videos. And I am aware that my most loyal fans are saddened by this, but don't worry, because I actually have a solution for you. I have created a Patreon where you can get all my unfiltered videos and conversations that I simply cannot share publicly. But behind closed doors, we can actually let loose and really speak about those things that I know my classy ladies will understand. I have a lot of juicy videos waiting for you, so go to AnnaBayPatreon.com to sign up. If you think that normalization of casual wear is actually just a thing that happened like in recent years, you're actually wrong. This goes way back as there has always been generational shifts that have been influencing this trend and really made this trend to grow more and more. In the 60s, you started having teenagers and adults rebel against traditional norms. They wanted to adopt a more casual and comfortable clothing style as their form of self-expression and rebellion. And that's also when the popularity of jeans started to grow, because initially jeans would actually be considered a fabric only worn by laborers and cowboys. But now it started to become this youth symbol for being cool, being a rebel, and just breaking the norms. The casual trend kept growing in the 70s with the hippie movement. Now, if you think that athleisure is something that we just started wearing like 5-10 years ago, wrong, unfortunately. Actually, it started already in the 80s and 90s. That is when athleisure had its first waves. You also had the grunge style really become a thing and set trends that the mainstream population would adopt. Fast forward a little bit to 90s and 2000s when we had a rise in tech boom and tech companies. They were kind of the pioneers, not only in technology, but also to relax workplace dress code. For the very first time, companies just started to adopt a really casual work attire attitude that actually set a trend that would later spread like wildfire to other industries. And you know that takes us pretty much to where we are today. But what is sad in 2023 is that it has gone so far that I feel like everyone at some point has seen somebody doing their groceries literally just wearing a pajamas. I actually want to go over the most common arguments that I hear when I raise the question about what on earth has happened to our society? Like, what is going on with the dress codes? Casual clothing is often more comfortable and practical than formal clothing. For example, leggings and t-shirts are easier to move around in than formal dresses and tailored trousers. This is important for women who have active lifestyles or jobs that require them to be physically active. I mean, of course, who am I to argue with that? I 100% agree. I wouldn't want anyone to be uncomfortable in what they wear, but there is this weird obsessive thinking in our society where people think that The only comfortable garments that exist are leggings, sweatpants, t-shirt, hoodies, sportswear, etc. As if like everything else is uncomfortable to wear. And I just want to bring up my point that I was making beginning of the video, like we live in such abundant times, most abundant than ever before. Like fashion technology has never been more innovative and developed so many solutions for us where we literally can have the most comfortable fabrics, the most comfortable cuts, meaning that we don't actually have to wear a garbage bag to be comfortable. Clothing can look well put together and classy while being super comfortable. Like adding to this conversation, what about trousers? People say, yeah, but trousers, they can only be comfortable if they're sweatpants or leggings. No, you're wrong. Trousers can be so comfy if you get them in the right size, with the right hip rise, the right fabric that you personally like. But I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, so what? She's making this video just because she doesn't like the way it looks? No, it's not just because of that. Just hang in there. You're gonna understand exactly what I mean in a second. Next argument. The influence of pop culture and social media. Pop culture, such as movies, TV shows, and music, has a significant influence on fashion trends. In recent years, there has been a trend towards more casual clothing in pop culture. For example, many celebrities and fashion icons are often seen wearing casual clothes such as jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers. Geez, you think? I mean, this argument is actually really true. I mean, it is true. Thanks to especially a lot of American celebrities, people look at these images, see what they wear when they go to their Starbucks to buy coffee wearing literally sweatpants, some Uggs, and think like, oh, okay, well, if they wear it, that means that I can wear it too. And maybe it's cool to wear something like that. I don't understand how sloppy fashion became cool. I personally also think that the rise of TikTok and other social media kind of relatable content where people basically stream their lives when they show themselves completely undone, barely dressed, dancing in their pajamas, talking to camera without even brushing their hair or taking a shower. All of that creates trends and influences other people. And I think something that definitely also made everything worse, lockdown, where people literally weren't even taking showers, sitting at home, looking like crap, feeling like crap, probably on top of it as a result, and then that kind of became the norm. But mind you, not everyone in this world has this issue. It's primarily us in the West, because luckily some cultures and some countries still have their traditional clothing as a norm to wear, or more formal type of attire as a norm. And I just want to say, you know what? Good for you, because over here, our traditional clothing is literally a t-shirt. The lack of time and resources. Many people today are busy with work, school, and other commitments. They may not have the time or resources to put together a well-coordinated outfit. Well, that's a valid point. But you know that putting on a dress, let's say like this, takes the exact same amount of time as putting on a pair of sweats and a hoodie. Individuality and self-expression. Casual clothing allows people to express their individuality and personal style. This is in contrast to formal clothing, which is often seen as more uniform and restrictive. Now, I actually don't get this argument, because what kind of self-expression does sloppy clothes tell you besides that you've given up on life? I understand teenagers who want to be part of the cool kids in school. I get it if they want to wear hoodies. But what about the average adult? Getting ready to go to work, putting on a hoodie. Like, what does that tell you about that person? And this actually brings me to my main issue with the casual and sloppy dress code of society these days. I really would love us to have a boundary between each other, because in the end of the day, we're strangers. I remember going once to see a musical in London. A man was there wearing a pair of gray sweatpants that had white stains near his groin area. And I'm like, is it too much to ask for to have a little bit of boundaries where I don't have to get this close to people I don't know? And the same goes for when people wear revealing clothing and show skin without thinking that can be too intimate. And I'm talking about both the genders, by the way. Who wants to sit next to a sweaty man at the theater, at the cinema, or even at the bus and feel his skin rubbing against you? I also remember once walking behind a woman on the street who was wearing, these really tiny, tiny cycling shorts that were also cut in a way where they kind of go inside her buttocks. And then also on top of it had a major camel toe. And then She wore just a simple bralette on top, like sportswear style. She was literally running her errands. And what I found problematic is that you can really see her body in such great detail and extent. Why do we as strangers have to see all this? And I know that many people, when they argue with me on these subjects, they say, well, don't look then. Well, guess what? I'm trying, but it's kind of hard when it's looking at me. It's just very distracting, and I think that becomes also a problem in itself. Now, I just feel like we have removed all ties that we had to those boundaries that kept strangers from interacting with each other in a way that felt comfortable and appropriate. Now, however, I feel like I'm unwillingly invited into someone's intimate space. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what's ultimately bothering me. You might have some prejudice about who I am and what I stand for, but all I want to say is that I'm actually not some superficial prick just being annoyed if someone doesn't wear the right shoes or the right dress. I truly don't care on that individual level. I really, really don't. I am not bothered if people choose not to be fashionable or stylish. I don't care. It's fine. I understand. I also respect the fact that not everybody has the resources or financial means. The point of this video is not to shame or critique people who dress differently. I do respect our differences, but I want you to become aware of something. I believe that the rise in mental health issues in our society is, of course, a complex issue and has many, many factors behind. But one of them definitely has to do with self-care and how you look after yourself and how you dress and how you look after your hygiene and your personal grooming. I actually spoke to a therapist about this who said that when you put effort in your appearance and you think about what you wear, it is truly self-care that you do. And this self-care is essential for mental health. You cannot neglect these fundamental parts of your life. And now, especially that we have so much conversation about self-care. But self-care is not just about, taking a hot bath and do some journaling. Self-care is also how you treat yourself on a daily basis, how you prioritize your basic needs. Clothes actually carry energy, and if that energy makes you feel attractive, powerful, and confident, then guess what? You're gonna inject that energy into your mental headspace and carry it with you for the day. But what happens when you completely neglect yourself? When you put on something that makes you actually subconsciously probably even feel worse about yourself. I'm sure a pair of sweatpants are comfy, but are they really energizing you, making you feel beautiful, making you feel powerful, making you feel confident? If the answer is yes for you, then good for you. But I think majority don't actually feel like that. I personally think that many people retreat to sloppy dress choices because they actually are just neglecting themselves. And that impacts your mental health. And I really want us to step away from the stereotype that if you look after your appearances, that's just something superficial people do, not something that kind of everybody should be doing because this is kind of the basics to life. When we do these things, we actually empower ourselves to feel our best. Dressing well is an action of self-care. When you put effort into your appearance, you actually show yourself that you are worthy of love and respect. And it's going to make you feel more confident and more empowered. Again, if t-shirts, hoodies, leggings is your personal style, that's fine. I wish you all the best. And for you ladies who enjoy classic style and want to learn more about it, then you know I'm here for you on this channel. And you have so many videos now to check out to learn about styling tips that are going to make you feel amazing, attractive, and look your best. I will see you in the next video.